Now, I feel like a phony for asking this, but if you come back for episode 2, maybe I judge you too harshly. Be a pal, would you, and leave a review? Oh, and tell your friend. Or friends if you're lucky enough. The Midnight Snack is your classic food truck setup. Red neon tin walls with a light box for today's specials. 2 nights ago, a body was found in the parking lot next door, and I'm here cleaning up the mess of an investigation. This town with no name, this place with its cast of characters that would seem less ominous than in this place, and with this food truck. Last episode, I interviewed Denise. Stanley's body was found on her property. Her favorite knife has gone missing, and it would seem like someone might have it out for her. In the interview tapes, it was clear that Isla had some sort of beef with Denise, but that's not enough evidence for a motive. My next interview was the Gregor Piccolo, produce tycoon and owner of Piccolo Produce, the town's fruit and vegetable supplier. He's got a few people in his back pocket, that's for sure. I decided to talk to him about what might have gone on that night. Given his connections, he had to know something. Denise said she saw him heading up to the church on the hill the night of the murder, which was an alibi that needed investigating. And maybe there was some bad blood with he and Denise, or he and Stanley, and we know what Taylor Swift says about bad blood. That it only comes after mad love. But before that, a word from our sponsors.
Hey, you! That's right, you, honey. You know how they say 3rd time's the charm. Well, you can find your 3rd, 4th, 5th time for love on the latest dating app for you fabulous divorcees. Divorce Cinder is just what you need to get you back in the game and back down the aisle. With all new features such as credit checks, lawyer contracts, and prenuptial perks. Download Divorce Cinder now and start looking for that special someone one last time.
When I entered the bar, I saw Gregor sitting there, his large chapped lips pursed as he stirred his black coffee, fingers drumming the table. He was his normal, cheery self and couldn't have been happier to see me.
You hear that, kid? That's the sound of time, Harry. It's time being wasted, and you know whose time? It's my time, Harry. What the devil do you want?
Sorry, Gregor. Honestly, I won't be long. I just need to start recording.
Damn it, Harry, get to the point, would you?
Okay. So, we're recording with Gregor Piccolo. Could you tell me a bit about where you were last night?
Last night? Night before? What does it matter? I am the night.
It kind of does matter. They found a body of Stanley Indexer last night at the Midnight Snack, right next to your orchard.
Well, if you meant last night, why didn't you make your questions clearer, kid? You trying to spin my words in circles? Oh, you're trying to frame me, I know. You're just like my ex-wife.
No, I don't see how I'm comparable to your ex-wife, but thank you. You were seen leaving the Blossom to Buffet competition at 5 p.m. by Denise. She said she saw you walking up towards the old church on the hill.
Yes, that sounds about right. On Friday evenings, I go light a candle for my brother, Roman. Rest his soul. We started the cannery together, you know. Hours we spent with stained red fingers, hitting seeds and sending the cherry flesh flying into the streaming vats of molten tar.
It was his idea, wasn't it? Blossom to Buffet, the cherry pie competition.
Yes, it was Roman's idea. He loved cherry flesh more than his own flesh. Now you serve that hot and wrapped up in a flaky skin of pastry, and he would shoot a man stone dead for it. That's why I run the competition each year. A way to remember him.
Must be a real dampener this year to have a corpse show up. And one of the judges. How do you feel about that? And on Denise's property, you're quite close, aren't you?
You know, Harry, you ask a lot of questions. And they're loaded too, like the barrel of a semi-automatic. If I were you, I wouldn't go digging too much deeper in the dirt, if you catch my drift.
Right. Absolutely. I'll just go now.
Oh, no, please, stay. You're recording, ain't you? Let's tie some of those loose ends up, shall we? Oh, I knew Stanley Index all right. He filed a claim that my ingredients list was, how did he put it? Misleading. You know, the one on the back of the can? Tried to get us shut down. It got really messy. I went into the factory myself one night, in the rain. Now let me set the scene. I opened the door to the shed, a shed that houses machinery casting shadows on the wall, creating ghastly figures that haunt your nightmares. I was investigating the claim made by Stanley Indexer that there were misleading ingredients in my products. Lead poisoning, he said. That man wouldn't know a lead pipe if I bashed him over the head with one. So I searched through the tins, the machines, and the ingredients. I checked the processor and cross-referenced with the list, and, well, there was no sign of anything suspicious. Just good old-fashioned cherry preserving.
That was so cool. So it was all settled then, with Stanley?
Yes, I invited him to the factory to see for himself. He never made his cooking show or the papers. I put it in a word with the boys at the Reviewer to keep it quiet. Stan and I actually ended up getting along quite well in the end. I had him around for dinner, and I invited him to judge Blossom to buffet.
So, Stanley had interrogated his cannery. Canary. It seemed to have blown over, but maybe there was something he wasn't telling me. He had cherry skin in the game, and it wouldn't surprise me if he wanted Stanley to can it once and for all. But before that, a quick note from our sponsors.
Some birds you just can't trust. They lie straight to your face with a smile, break promises, and stab you right in the back. But not all birds will pluck your heart out. Here at Gregor's Canaries, we take pride in caring for and loving little yellow fuzzy buckets. Pull yourself out of the metaphorical coal mines of life and adopt one of our canaries today. Come down to Gregor's Canaries and meet our friendly staff. We have all the supplies you need to start your own little family of feathery friends. Or send us a tweet and we'll tweet you right back with more information. Tweet.
Now I'm set up at the awards ceremony, watching the crowd for suspicious activity. Stanley may have been cut down in his prime, but I'm here to fill the steps he couldn't take. Or something like that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to edit this in post. I'm sure by surveying the crowd, I'll be able to spot anyone acting suspicious. If they hadn't announced it on the radio, I could have seen who was surprised by his death, but either way, people aren't that good at keeping secrets. If the killer is here, I'm sure I'll be able to spot it from a mile away.
Who's a mile away?
No one, Mom.
You know who's not a mile away? Josie. Did you see her over there? Go on then. Give her an interview with your fancy new microphone. It cost me enough. Just investing in my future grandchildren. She'll think you're so smart. Oh, here she comes.
Oh, fancy seeing you here, Harry. Myrtle, how are you?
Oh, just losing sleep every night, worrying about Harry and if he's ever going to get married and if he's going to live his whole life alone and living in my basement. And I sure hope he can meet a nice girl. I don't know, maybe someone whose name starts with a J, but I don't know. Just, I'll leave you two to it, all right? Does that sound all right? I think I will. You two have fun, all right? Yeah.
Okay, Mom. Thanks. Go sit down now.
Sure, sweetheart. You two have fun.
Thanks! Geez, she's intense.
Each day, I become more of a shadow of myself. Anyway, how are you, Josie?
Better than you, by the sounds. What are you up to? Baking competition doesn't seem like your kind of crowd.
I'm investigating the death of the guest judge. I'm here to watch for suspicious activity.
Oh, still working on your private eye thing?
My podcast? Yeah. I'm almost at 1,500 subscribers, especially since the whole, murder incidents.
Wow, that's impressive.
Speaking of, where were you yesterday at 5 p.m.?
Are you interrogating me?
Well, I have to cover all my bases.
Well, okay. I was finishing up with my client, and getting ready for a date, actually.
What? Oh, yeah, cool. It doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah, didn't think it did. Probably won't waste my time asking you on one tonight then, huh?
Yeah, wait, I don't know, Josie. I'm in the middle of an important investigation. I can't afford to get distracted right now.
Oh, pity. I was just thinking a drink with you would be nice, but guess I was wrong. Bye then.
No, yes, a drink would be great, actually. I wrap up here after the ceremony. See you after?
Great. See you then.
Yes! Oh, no, I can't afford to lower my guard. Josie could be the murderer for all I know. Oh, wait, what am I saying? She couldn't have done that. She's too... Focus, Harry. So far, I've seen no suspicious activity amongst the crowd. Oh, looks like they're about to announce the winner.
Is this on? Hello, everyone. It's me, Kev the Cop. Thank you for joining us today to announce the outcome of the 15th annual Blossom de Buffet Baking Competition. As you know, one of our judges has unexpectedly passed away. As tragic and terrible as that is, we are all determined that the show must go on, and that hopefully this competition will bring comfort to everyone. So, without further ado, we will announce the winner of this year's Blossom de Buffet. Isla, if you please. Isla, just hand it over. Okay, and one more note before we get on with it. Unfortunately, our guest judge Stanley's results were never recorded. So we are going off our remaining judges' results, which is fine. We've checked the rules and it's all good. We're just doing what we have to, hey. We don't believe it will influence the outcome too much, but again, we must work with what we have. So, I am pleased to announce that the winner of this year's Blossom de Buffet is...
Wow, didn't see that coming. Either everyone is playing it cool, or no one here is involved. Gregor's shaking hands with one of the judges. Not sure if that means anything. Isla's congratulating the winner. Denise is talking with Louisa. Nothing seems too out of place. All this talk of baking, and I'm starving. Luckily, I know just what to do when Mom's not home and I'm fresh out of ideas for dinner.
Hello, and hello, fish. Are you hungry and too lazy to go shop or your favorite chicken shop? Hello Fish is here to help you. Hello Fish offer cheap ingredients at a fresh price right to your door. With your order, you will get an easy-to-read recipe for all your meals. To claim your first order, simply go to hellofish.iwantfriedchicken.com.
I met Josie at the bar on Main around 7. Things with Josie and I were complicated. I'm playing it cool, she's totally into me, but I don't know if I could date a therapist. All that active listening and understanding, feelings, no place in a relationship, I say. I could see her in the window as I walked up, poised on the bar stool. Her hair was in a braid over her shoulder, and a smile on her lips as she chatted up the bartender. I accidentally left my recorder on in my pocket, which ended up being a really happy accident for the podcast. It was mostly small talk, but I did uncover an important piece of evidence.
So, you gonna buy me a drink?
Absolutely. Yeah. What are you drinking?
I'll have what you're having.
I needed something that said cool, without trying. Man on the edge, ready for action. Smooth like chocolate milk, but not as caffeinated as a cola. We'll take 2 Cosmopolitans. I didn't know what they were, but they sounded sophisticated.
So, tell me more about your podcast. What have you found out so far?
Well, I've interviewed some key players in the town. It's getting good, Josie. Really good.
I have actually been thinking about starting my own podcast. I'd love to turn it into a TV show or something, but this way it's more likely to get produced.
Oh, really? That's great. What's it about?
Well, actually, I have a pitch recorder that explains it better. Here, I'll share it with you.
Cool, I'll give it a listen. I can give you some pointers when mine starts to really take off, and maybe we could work on it together. I'm sure I could help you get it going.
Sounds good. You know, it's a crime you're still single.
It was evident that I impressed her with Cosmos and with my podcast. I bet she's never dated someone with such a following. She didn't seem to have much information, but I can't let my bias get in the way of any truths I could be missing. There was only one suspect left on my list, and I'd been avoiding this one for a reason.
Harry, dear, will this take long? I've got a casserole in the oven. I gotta take it to Louisa down the street. Patty's always giving me grief about how soupy my casseroles are, but she's not one to talk, seeing as she hasn't discovered salt yet.
Please, Mom, this will just take a second.
All right, hun, whatever you say.
Here we are, with Myrtle Veritas giving us her account of her whereabouts at the time of the murder. Now, Myrtle, can you tell me where you were on Friday night?
Friday afternoon or Friday evening? Because Friday afternoon I was down at the hairdresser. Ella said she got some new perm rods in and I've been needing to get it redone for a while.
Mom! Myrtle, please, can you just give me a straight answer?
I was telling you.
Okay, how about Friday night, after 6?
After 6, let's see, well... After I went to the beauty parlor, I ran into Patty on Main Street and we walked past Denise's place.
So you were at the midnight snack. Did you see anything?
What? Heavens, no! I wouldn't stop there if my life depended on it.
But you said...
No! We walked past it on our way to the grocery store. It was around 4 in the afternoon. We were talking about some of the gossip surrounding this year's competition.
What sort of gossip?
Mostly about the contenders and who we thought would win. Someone's got to dethrone Denise. It's ridiculous. My third husband...
Mom!
And just because Denise has won the cherry pie every year since that rickety old tin can popped up, all the single men in this town think she's all that.
The time of death of the victim was between 6 and 8 p.m. You didn't see anything?
No, I can't say that I did. You know, now that I think about it, when I was walking back from the store, I thought I saw someone in the parking lot by Denise's place.
Really? Who?
I couldn't see his face. It looked like a man.
What time did you see this?
I think it was around 6:15. I just know it was on my way home, and I was in a hurry. I had those dinosaur chicken nuggets you love, and I didn't want them to unthaw before I got home, so I didn't pay too much attention.
Let's move on. Did you know the victim, Stanley Indexer?
Is that poor man's name? What a shame. You know, our town has always been a safe place, but now who knows what's going on out there and if that maniac will come after just about anyone.
So you didn't know him. Denise said she saw him on this street that night.
Well, what does Denise know? No, I didn't know him. I saw him hanging around the judge booth at the competition, though.
Yeah, he was this year's guest judge.
Oh, I remember how I know him. He's that handsome man from the 3 p.m. cooking show. Patty and I have always said he's a real catch. I wouldn't mind if he came over and showed me how to really stuff a roast chicken.
Stop it, Mom! Gross! I mean, Myrtle, You never met him, though, did you?
No, I saw him at the competition, but afterwards we were busy with our errands and I never got a chance to meet him. A real shame. Next thing you know, his face is flashing up on all the televisions over town. I just didn't think something like that would happen around here, especially during the cherry pie competition. Who do you think would do something like that?
I don't know, Mom. That's what I'm here to find out.
Why are you talking like that?
After talking with Mom, I mean Myrtle, I couldn't say if there was much new information to be found. But I was prepared to exhaust every resource, gather all the facts from everyone related to the murder. The fate of this case was in my hands, and I knew Stanley's killer was close. What happened next was hard to believe. It was as if some evidence had dropped right out of thin air, like airdrop. I wonder if that's where they got the name. The files that Josie shared at the bar, well, they weren't the silky smooth tones of Josie that I was expecting.